I resonate with you so much. First of all, I want to hear about your play. I want to hear about Breastival. I want to hear about how everything came into being. And you resonate with me right away. When I saw your picture on LinkedIn, because I know we connected through the Grand Connection, but when I saw your picture on LinkedIn, I was just like, she is dynamic. I could feel the energy coming off of your picture. I just want you to know, and I know you're a powerful storyteller. You're, an actor. You bring stories to life. And I believe that what everybody has in this world is their story to give.
Yes.
And it's very powerful. So if people don't tell their stories, other people suffer, actually.
Yes.
So I tell people, it's so important for you to share your story, open your mouth. Not everybody is going to want to hear your story. It's true, but the people that are searching for it, the people that need to hear it, they will find you. And whether it's on a recording, like you suggested that I record this, it's a recording, an article, podcast, however they find you, they will find you, and they're looking for that story. They want to know that somebody got to the other side, whatever the other side is. And so that's why stories, they've been around forever, right? Mm-hmm. They've been around forever. They're so powerful. So you bringing stories to life in plays and musicals, tell me, I want to know about that. I really do. I want to hear about Breastival and everything that you're doing.
Okay, so I didn't grow up to become an actor. I'll say I didn't know that I was going to grow up to become an actor.
Yes.
My friends all said they knew. Well, probably because I loved to play. I would make up stories. I would make up things. And I actually, I wrote my first play somewhere around 7. And we did it in my class at school in the second grade. And I think it was the second grade. Yeah. And so that was like the beginning. But I went off into business because that was in my mind what we were supposed to do. And I can jump back a little bit because my parents put me in dance classes when I was little because my legs were crooked, and the doctors, the orthopedic surgeons and stuff said, this will help straighten her legs out. And I loved it. And then of course we ended up with our little dance recitals and things. So I loved performing, and I did that all through high school. I did it all through college. But I still went into business. But somewhere along the line, what they called the old boys school in those days wasn't resonating with me, and I wasn't getting done what I wanted to get done. And because just things didn't seem like they were in balance or they were fair. So as it happened, I was a part of a creative work group where we masterminded with ourselves, with each other. And there were, but it was mostly entertainment professionals. And there were about 5% business. And I sat in the business group one day and I said, is anybody else upset that they're not a performer? And not long after that, I switched careers. And when I did that, I just had so much more fun. And I won't, there's a whole story behind that, and how I got caught in the struggle of being an actor and then had to dig myself out of. It doesn't have to be a struggle, and the whole thing. But what came about was because I was older when I became an actor, my friend suggested that I introduce myself into the industry in a particular way. And I did my first solo show, I'm Gonna Fly, about Bessie Coleman, who was the first Black female aviator. So you say, tell stories. And those were the things I wanted to do, was tell stories. the next show that I wrote, I was doing the vagina monologues. And I thought, this is such a powerful piece. Yes. Isn't it a powerful piece?
I was going to talk to you about that.
So,
I was going to give the vagina monologues. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So powerful piece. And I thought, well, there's another part of our body that's also very powerful. Why isn't anybody talking about that in an uplifting, loving, joyful, understanding way? We talk about breasts on television and in movies all the time. I bet you there is not one piece of entertainment out there that hasn't done something, even if it's just a cleavage shot, or a close-up that moves in and or we bump up against them. All this stuff going on. So I thought, why don't we have a show about breasts? So I started to create that, and I created it from not only my stories, but I recognize that these are mine and they do not represent everybody's. And I don't have stories that do that. So I interviewed a number of women and got stories from them. And then I realized that as I kept doing the play, people would come up to me afterwards, or they would hear an announcement that I'm doing the show. Where if I was in a group, there'd be an announcement that I'm doing the show, and people would come up to me and tell me their stories. They would just tell me their stories because they were interesting, or that they had to get them out, or there was something that they were stuck in with that story. And so, like you said, the power of telling a story is healing. It really is just healing. And so I thought I wanted to tell the stories more often, and I wanted to tell them across a bigger platform, because I thought we as women, we have these concepts or ideas that we don't even know we have. I had a friend of mine who's, oh my gosh, she's such a gorgeous woman, inside and out, and she's a minister, and she's just gorgeous. Anyway, she said she came to my show and she watched it, and she realized that she was uncomfortable and she realized that because she realized she hadn't realized before that she had some body issues. And so, the more we heal our issues or our thoughts around our issues, the easier our lives become, and so and I'm still processing. I went to the dentist yesterday, and if you noticed, my jaw sticks out a little bit. Now,
okay,
I probably never noticed.
I didn't notice. Yeah, not at all.
But it's my issue, so I think everybody notices. But it's not hereditary or anything. It comes because when I was little, the dentist, my teeth are crowded here. And one would think, my friends used to say, I don't understand, you have such a big mouth. All my teeth should fit, but they got a little bit crowded. And so the dentist told my mother to, because my senses, because he thought that we could not afford braces, he told my mother to tell me to push my teeth with my tongue. Now, at 6 years old, that reformulates your body, which is why they put me in dance classes, because they knew that the teachers were going to have me do certain things in dance that would help straighten my legs out, because that was the form I was forming. Yeah. So my body was forming at that time. And so he had me do that. My mother had me do that. which reformed my jaw, which is another whole interesting story. But the other thing that happened was my mother got cancer at 6 or 7, and she passed when I was 13. And during that time, it was what her thing to do at the time was to work to stay alive. So things got missed. And part of what got missed was my being watched to be, told to do certain things like brush your teeth, do this, don't eat that, that kind of thing. So for 6 years, from the time, for actually 7, from the time I was 6 until I was 13, when she passed, I didn't go to the dentist. I didn't get any direction about what I needed to do. So I have a mouthful of interesting stories too. But what happened was the dentist brought up my jaw and my teeth, which triggered my whole issue with my missing my mom, because I'm in the middle of the play right now. So it's interesting. But I also know that it came up so I can, again, let go of this issue that I have with myself. So that's kind of where I see the play. It's not just about the stories that we tell. It's about letting ourselves be okay with who we are and what we've got. Because whatever it is, it's serving us to be able to be on this journey about truly being a spiritual being and letting go of the humanness that just gets sometimes in the way of our perfection, of seeing our own perfection. Because I am the perfect me, as you are the perfect you.